Good morning. In fact, I played this song because I didn't want to punish you people singing myself. But this song by Kabir, who was born in Varanasi only, amply explains the theme of today. It's not audible?
Excuse me. Yes, please. Okay, you can try now. Volume?
I think I was a little closer to the mic, that is why. Are you able to hear me? Audible?
Up. Yes. Try again.
So, are you able to hear me? Please, you wave your hand in the back if you are able to hear me. Thank you. So, Sant Kabir says, "Moko kaha dhoonde re bandhu, main to tere paas hu." Why and where do you search for me, my friend? Neither in the temple, nor in the mosque, neither in Kaaba, or even on Mount Kailash will you find me. I am not in the rituals and ceremonials that you perform, nor am I in the practices of yoga and austerities. You will find the reality in a moment if you want. As I am within your own being, I am the very breath of all breaths. In another couplet, Sant Kabir says, "Kasturi kundali base, mrig ढूंढे बन माही, ऐसे घट घट राम है, दुनिया देखे नाही." Vedas, Upanishads, Smritis, and Purans reveal that all of existence is parented by a pure infinite consciousness named Brahma. And the resonator of this universe is the realization of the individual soul's oneness with the Brahma, says the Mandukya Upanishad. Man searches for Brahma in vain, stumbling as far as his quicksilver mind can take him. When the consciousness of man reverentially tiptoes into the temple of his own body and enters the deepest recess of his own heart, he beholds Brahma as his own Atma. This is the true sanctum sanctorum, where the soul's aspiration is the priest and breath is the arti. Such a realization leads to the Jivatma's union with the Paramatma, the merging of soul with the Brahma. It is in this unfoldment of consciousness that one understands the profound statement in Sanskrit, Sarvam Sarvatmakam. All abide in the one, and the one abides in all. The Brahma encompasses the universe just like salt is dissolved in water. We can taste it, but we cannot touch it. We cannot see it. The same way, the God is manifested in all of us, although it remains unmanifested. All religions and saints have spoken of the yearning to be one with the Supreme Self. Jesus tells us, do unto others what you would like others to do to you. Nearer home, we have the examples of a number of saints who taught the same. Gautam Buddha saw misery all around him. He was so pained to see this that he renounced the world and went into soul searching. And when he found the enlightenment, realized the divinity within him, and in all those who dwelled on earth, what he did? He renounced the renunciation and came back to the word and strived to awaken the people to their inner self, to their soul. If we come to more modern times, we have the examples of Swami Vivekananda and Dr. Annie Besant. Both espoused Advaita Vedanta. Perhaps we all know this. However, we consider all this talk of self and supreme self as something which is not for us common human beings. It is for the ascetics who have renounced the word. This is probably the most misconceived notion, and that is why the word is full of pain, sorrow, jealousy, hatred, and is devoid of love, compassion, empathy, and service. In the Mundaka Upanishad, Rishi Angiras expounds his concept of Gyan in the central word of the Upanishad, Mundak, which usually refers to the shaving off of the head. However, Guru Angiras means that Munda, the shaving off, should actually be the shaving off of the layers of ignorance which cover us all, to enable us to see ourselves as being one with the universal self. So long as we are ignorant of this innate divinity in all of us, we make divisions between man and man, between races and races, between nationality and nationality. And owing to these sorts of differences, we quarrel with each other and make this world a place uninhabitable for sane people. We can remove this kind of differences and parochial outlook not by any kind of intellectual understanding, but by the practice of true Vedanta. Instead of going to temples, churches, mosques, and gurudwaras, see the divinity within and remove the consciousness of the otherness. Guru Nanak, you all must be knowing this anecdote, that Guru Nanak was once asked to keep his feet away because to the side his feet were pointed, there was a temple. He asked a very simple question. Please tell me to which direction I should put my feet. In which direction God does not dwell. I will put my feet in that direction. These are practical examples which give us a lot of enlightenment. We don't need any intellectualism to learn this. Yet, what we do, we tend so ardently to the comforts of our body, to accumulation of wealth and relatives, that we forget that there is a soul within. And this forgetfulness leads us to ignorance. God, who is concealed in all beings, is one. He pervades everything. He dwells in all forms of life and is the overseer of all activities. Eko devaha sarvabhuteshu gudha sarvavyapi sarvabhutantaratma karmadhyakshah sarvabhutadivasa sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. These are all quotations from, of course, various Upanishads. But they all teach us this one thing. But it is very difficult for a common person to be detached from worldly pleasures. Instead of searching for happiness, we search for pleasures, which are so impermanent, so transitory. If one realizes the divinity of the eternal spirit and the oneness of all things, the battle is won. And all the confusion of joy and grief disappears, thereby bringing release to man. You see, if water is poured into water, it becomes one, and the same with it. Thus it is with the self of a man who understands, who sees unity in manifoldness. And when the knots of heart are untied, man is freed from worldly attachments, he becomes immortal. And this realization of oneness can come only from inside through the practice of truth, meditation, and control of mind and senses to some extent. Make the body the lower piece of Arani and the understanding the upper piece, and by practice of meditation, churn the fire out. And when the heart is cleansed, Brahma is revealed and he is seen shining like a burning light within oneself. The other day, I was hearing to the international president how the warmth attracts people. And I was also looking at the burning fire, and I saw that some ash was there on that wood which was burning. And so it was not giving heat. I just prodded it, removed the ash, and what happened? It started giving a lot more warmth, lot more heat. The same we have to do. We have to do with our inner self. We all know, Satyan nasti paro dharma. There is no religion higher than truth. Truth always wins. Satyameva jayate. And with truth is paved the road to the divine. Being true to oneself is the beginning of the supreme revelation. That is what I believe. In standing before the mirror, if you are able to look into your eyes, then you are on the right path. In a village in Kerala, there is a temple in which a mirror is installed for worship instead of deities. This is to emphasize that God is within oneself, and one should find salvation by accessing the inner self. In another temple, in place of a deity, a bright light illuminates the word truth, duty, kindness, love. I would like to draw your attention to Swami Vivekananda, Dr. Annie Besant, their philosophy of practical Vedanta, and also, in the end, I will draw your attention to the universal prayer of Theosophy. Practical Vedanta says, if God is everywhere, if everyone is divine, then what should we do? We should serve the person. We should serve the man. Swami Vivekananda had said about Daridra Narayan, seeing God in the poorest of the poor and serving the person. We don't need to go to the temple. The person, the man himself is God. And if we realize this, if we see the divinity within, we see the divinity in the other person also. Serving the person, serving the man is the best service to the society. This is what Swami Vivekananda preached. I have so many things written about the teachings of Swami Vivekananda and what he had said. But there is a limitation of time, and 2 minutes are left only. So I would quote one poetry from Swami Vivekananda. These are his manifold forms before thee. He's talking about men. These are his manifold forms before thee. Rejecting them, where seekst thou for God? Who loves all beings without distinction, he indeed is worshipping best his God. Dr. Annie Besant says in the wisdom of the Upanishads that the Supreme Self always dwells in the hearts of the beings. We need not fear to declare that I am he and there is none other. If we live, we are part of them. with the awareness of divinity in all human beings, what will happen? We will have more empathy, love, and brotherhood, and the realization that what you don't want people to do with you, don't do with others. The behavior which brings joy in this world and in the next world too is religion. Just actions form religion. Something which is for the welfare of mankind must be practical. When we treat all human beings as us and not other, then only we are truly awakened. I would conclude my talk, although I want to say so many things more, but I would conclude my talk here with the universal prayer of Theosophical Society, which imparts the same message, and I think we recite it daily. We just have to not only recite it, but feel it. Just as I had heard a story that you may know the psalm, but you should know the shepherd also. If you know the shepherd, then there will be tears in everyone's eyes, not only clappings and applause. So, here it goes. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are also one with every other. What more I can say beyond this? Thank you so much for listening to me.